What is up, everybody? Today is Monday, February 3rd. I took one trade today, and that one trade was more than enough for me. Even on such a crazy day, honestly. So, as always, we start out on the 4-hour time frame. We know that we had this massive drop overnight. We know that this came from the whole tariff news that's been going on in the country, but looking at the price action that happened overnight in the AM session, we could see that the order flow was bullish. So I was expecting price to continue moving on higher. As you can see, we had a 1-hour imbalance right here that got invalidated very quickly at midnight. We started to continue moving on higher. We created these two imbalances here. We had a 15-minute fair value gap right there, as well as a 1-hour fair value gap. And as you can see, price tapped into that 1 hour, respected it really well, and then continued to move on higher, especially because we took out those lows and moved into a discount area. So because of the price action, like I said, I was looking for longs this morning to try to get some kind of an entry to move on higher, at least to this 4-hour inversion fair value gap right there. So looking at the price action this morning here on the 1 minute, the market opens up and we end up moving up into this level of buy side liquidity where we do reject off of it to come down and fulfill the discount off of the price leg to rebalance into discount. We tap into that 1 minute fair value gap. Now, was there a setup here that I would have taken? Probably not, because of the fact that it is outside of the macro. So let me turn on the indicator for the macros itself. You can see that the macro was from 950 to 1010. There was really no bullish setup that I would have taken, especially because this price action here looked very wonky. So I wanted to see what the 10 o'clock candle was going to do. And as you can see, we have this open of 10 o'clock, the accumulation, manipulation lower, taking out these levels of sell side liquidity, and tapping into that 1 hour fair value gap was more than enough for price to then push us up. We displace above that 10 o'clock open. So now, did I feel like chasing here? Of course I did, but I waited patiently, and I just waited for the next macro session to see if there was anything that I felt comfortable taking to go short or long. Honestly, at this point, I did want to see price retrace back down into a discount to get some kind of a continuation on higher. But because we didn't get any kind of big retracement down into discount, I decided to just hold off on that macro and not take anything. And then it wasn't until the New York lunch session, we had a 1 minute imbalance right here that was created. We were still swimming inside of this 4-hour inversion fair value gap. So I decided, okay, I'll take a short down into these equal lows right here. And as you can see, this was the entry right here. We had the 1 minute imbalance get created. We had a lower high. It was in the New York lunch session macro. So as soon as that imbalance got invalidated, I market ordered in. I put my stop above that swing high, and I marked out here to say make break even. But because price just started to consolidate a little bit within it, I decided to just take off my whole position there. It was about a 1 to 1.2. Yeah, give or take a 1.2. So because of this massive move, and seeing as to how volatile the market was, especially on a Monday, I didn't want to stick around for too long and get stopped out, right? Or just regret being in the market for that long. But regardless, there was another setup here in the New York PM session. You could see we ended up getting a bullish inversion fair value gap get created. You can market order in, target the high of day, and that obviously hit a nice 1 to 1.89 risk to reward. Now I know that most gaps, especially those overnight gaps, do get filled, and as you can see, that ended up getting filled pretty much near the close of the market session at 5 p.m. So there was an entry to go long down here, but that's really close to the end of the day. I would not have taken that, honestly. So it's been a wonky day. I mean, now with this new presidency, the market is extremely volatile. We're getting volatility back in the market. You know, one piece of news can move it very drastically. You can see we've had a lot of volatile moves overall, but we want this volatility. We want it to happen so that we can find good setups. We just have to be patient. We have to be picky, and we have to make sure that all the confluences are aligned. And like I always tell everybody and my students who are watching, stick to the plan, stick to what I've taught you, stick to what you know, and you should get paid out really well. I hope you guys ended up green. It was definitely a tricky day. I know some of you guys did. So yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings, and I hope you guys have a great trading day tomorrow. Peace.